there was one thing that needed improving about the original BMW Mini, it was the diesel engine. The first Toyota-sourced 75 brake horsepower unit was a bit slow-witted, and you could only get it in entry-level Mini 1 trim. Now things are different. This car will accelerate from 0 to 60 in just 9.6 seconds on the way to a top speed of 121 miles an hour. That's 1 mile an hour faster than the 1.6 litre petrol model. But forget all that. All you really need to know is that this car has more pulling power than the Mini Cooper S hot hatch. Enough said. Now, to reflect its new performance status, this time round the diesel gets the full Cooper treatment, and as standard the Cooper D gets a 6-speed manual gearbox. Now, the long transmission ratio on the box allows for optimum fuel economy. You should get about 65 to the gallon in this car, and even at high motorway cruising speeds it makes the whole thing more relaxed. Though undeniably similar to the original BMW Mini, this latest version shares virtually nothing in common with its predecessor. Now, the philosophy this time round has been to ruthlessly get rid of those parts that users felt just weren't up to par, and to keep those aspects that the first customers loved, styling obviously being one of them. The stance is much the same, but there's been a general loosening of the belt. The car's about 50mm longer, the front grille's tidier, the indicators are now housed in the headlight pod, and the shoulder line is also about 18mm high, giving the whole design a more hunched, powerful appearance. The Cooper D can be identified by its pronounced power dome on the car's bonnet. Now, an asking price of well over £14,000 might at first seem a little steep for a car that fronts up with just 110 brake horsepower, but delve a little deeper and it's hard not to draw the conclusion that this car actually represents decent value for money. I mean, for a start, it's a little bit bigger inside than the usual Super Mini suspects, and it's certainly better built than the usual hatches. Now, as with any diesel Sportster, it's not about power, it's about torque, and this car has more grunt than a Lotus Exige S. You've just got to like changing gear a lot to keep pace. It's hard to think of a more desirable cross-country performance sports car for less than £15,000, and that's recommendation enough for me.